Good morning, children. Welcome back to the social science class. After a long gap, enjoying the holidays, once again we are coming back to the track. I hope in our previous class, no, we were discussing about the important dynasties of Karnataka. So, as we were discussing about the important dynasties of Karnataka, in our previous class, we have successfully discussed about Shatavahanas. So after that, now we are going to discuss about one more important dynasties of the south of the Karnataka, which is none other than the Kadambas. I hope many of you people might be aware of this Kadamba dynasty, because this Kadamba dynasty is going to be considered as one of the most popular dynasty in Karnataka. And that too, we need to feel very proud about this one, because this is the first Kannada dynasty of Karnataka. So, during the Kadambas, the official language used to be the Kannada. So, as we are the Kannadigas, we need to feel very proud about the Kadamba dynasty. After the Shatavahanas, Kadambas prospered in the northeast Karnataka. See, in a sense, once the Shatavahanas period completed, no, once their power declined, the Kadambas came to power and they prospered in the northeast Karnataka. And you know very well, the founder of Kadamba dynasty is Mayuravarma. Who? Mayuravarma. And Banavasi of Uttara Kannada district was the capital of Kadambas. During that time, Banavasi, it was in Uttara Kannada district and it was the capital of the Kadambas. And the emblem of Kadamba dynasty was a lion. So you might have heard very well about a lion. And in Kannada, you might have heard about Dr. Rajkumar. So Dr. Rajkumar, he was one of the famous actor, and he has made one very what we can say means well-known movie, and in that movie also we have discussed about this Mayuravarma. Okay, so now we are going to discuss about the most eminent, the most popular, the most well-known ruler from the Kadamba dynasty, that is the Mayuravarma. Mayuravarma was a Brahmin. Basically, he was a Brahmin and had been to Kanchi for the higher education. So, as he was a Brahmin, no, so he went to Kanchi in order to have the higher education. So, usually, you know very well, Brahmins used to have the higher education in the previous days. So, the higher education was specially meant for the Brahmins only. So, here the Mayuravarma, who was basically a Brahmin, he went to Kanchi in order to get the higher education. But there he was insulted or humiliated. Insulted or humiliated, both are same, by a Pallava military officer. So during that time, no, Pallavas used to rule over the Kanchi. And when Mayuravarma went to have the higher education in Kanchi, he was insulted by Pallava military officer. Mayuravarma felt so offended that he decided to become a Kshatriya. So when he was totally insulted, no, when he was humiliated, so what he thought is, it is better that why can't I should become the Kshatriya? And he decided himself. So then and there itself he decided, and he wanted to become the Kshatriya. So he gathered the tribal people and attacked Pallavas. So during that time, no, the tribal peoples, those who were there in that area, so he gathered all the tribal people, and with the help of the tribal people, he attacked over the Pallavas. Who? That is the Mayuravarma. So Mayuravarma, he attacked over the Pallavas. Finally, the king of Pallavas accepted Mayuravarma as king and gave away many places of Karnataka to him to rule. So now, when Mayuravarma, with the help of these tribals, attacked over the Pallava king, so finally Pallava king was supposed to accept Mayuravarma as a king, and he gave many of the places of Karnataka to rule Mayuravarma. So now officially Mayuravarma became the ruler. So Mayuravarma got the Chandravalli lake repaired near Chitradurga. So Chandravalli lake, it was near the Chitradurga. It was under repair, and he got under repair. And Kakusa Varma is famous among all the Kadamba rulers that ruled after Mayuravarma. So up to where Mayuravarma was there, no, he was only the famous ruler from this Kadamba dynasty. So after the Mayuravarma, the next important ruler from this dynasty was Kakusa Varma. Okay, and Halmidi inscription belongs to this his region. So it's very important. You know very well in history. This Halmidi inscription is there. No, it is very popular. For your kind information, in future, if you are going to write any competitive exams also, there you are going to get the questions based on this Halmidi inscription. So this Halmidi inscription, actually it was written in Kannada, and it was in the region of Mayuravarma. Okay, this is first known inscription in Kannada till now. So now also it is going to be known as the first known inscription, especially in Kannada language. So it is said that Kakusa Varma had marital relationship with the Guptas of North India. So after the Mayuravarma, the Kakusa Varma came to power now. He was having marital relations with the Guptas of North India. So you can understand how powerful the Kakusa Varma was also. And it was possible for him to have the marital relationship with the Guptas of North India. Okay. So now we are going to discuss about some of the important contributions of Kadambas towards the religion, literature and education, and architecture also. First, we are going to discuss about the religion. What were the contributions of Kadambas towards the religion? They were Shaivas and worshipped Praneshwara of Talagunda as well as Madhukeshwara of Banavasi. See, actually, these Kadambas were there, no? They were Shaivas, and as a result, they worshipped Praneshwara of Talagunda as well as Madhukeshwara of Banavasi. Praneshwara Linga of Talagunda is the most ancient Sivalinga of Karnataka. So, at present, you know very well, this Praneshwara Linga in Talagunda is there, no? It is one of the ancient in the sense old and very famous Sivalinga of Karnataka. Kadambas respected Buddhism and Vaishnava religion. In the sense, they were having tolerance towards the religion. They even respected the Jainism as well as the Buddhism also. Thereby established religious tolerance. So they were having a very good religious tolerance towards all the religions. And at the same time, let us see some of the contributions of Kadambas towards the literature as well as the education. Prakrit, Sanskrit, and Kannada were used during the period of Kadambas. Prakrit, Sanskrit, as well as the Kannada. So Kannada was only a spoken language and was gradually developed into a literary language. So during that time, Kannada actually it was just a spoken language. So slowly what happened, you see, this Kannada language also developed into a literary language. Now at present you know very well, Kannada language is also going to be considered as one of the most popular language and Shastriya language. Okay. And next you see, this change can be seen in Halmidi inscription. See, as I said you, the Halmidi inscription, now also it is going to be known as the first Kannada inscription available in India. Okay. So, that change can be seen in the Halmidi inscription. Agraharas and Ghatakasthanas were educational centers. Okay. So, Talagunda was a famous Agrahara and Kanchi was a famous Gatikasthana. See, these Gatikasthana as well as the Agraharas were there, no? They were the centers of education. And Talagunda, it was a famous Agrahara as well as Kanchi was a famous Gatikasthana. Okay. And next we are going to discuss about the architecture also. Jaina Basadi of Halasi, Shankaradeva temple of Banavasi are the famous construction of Kadambas and depict their architectural style. Now also, if you happen to visit these places, that is the Banavasi and that is the Shankaradeva temple of Banavasi as well as the Jaina Basidi of Halsi, you will come to know the architectural style of Kadambas. So this is about the Kadambas. Okay. So the next period, no, we are going to discuss about the Gangas. Okay. So till to that, bye. See you.